Excuse me. Hello, my name is Keshwani. That's Keshwani, Keshwani. I have been solving math problems from this book here, the GMAT review. You must have this book if you're preparing for GMAT. You can buy this book at mba.com. The official guide, GMAT review, 11th edition. The problem that I'm about to solve appears on page number 162, problem solving 83. Problem solving as opposed to data sufficiency. I have put together DVDs which contain solutions to all the 400 math problems that you find in this book here. There are about 250 problem solving questions and about 150 what are known as data sufficiency questions. And I have put together a DVD which contains solutions to all of these problems. If you wish to purchase those DVDs, send me an email. Go to my website at prepforgmat.com. Or if you wish to hire my services for personal private tutoring, again you can send me an email and I will talk. I'm located in Connecticut, but I've been to many different places where people call me up, and wherever you're located, I'll come down and help you as long as we can come to some agreement. Let's look at number 83. The question simply is, what is equivalent of 1/5 to the 5th power? As I have said many a times, and I keep repeating myself, there are two ways of taking this exam. One way is what I call the classical way, the traditional way, the orthodox way, the geeky way, the nerdy way, the proper way, the academic way, the way your math teacher would expect you to solve the problem. And then there's another one which is what I call the quick and dirty way. Quick and dirty way is where one looks for shortcuts. Because the purpose in this exam is not to sit there and show your work. Nobody looks at your exam. Nobody looks at the bloody thing. They're just interested in whether or not you're clicking the right bubble. That's all they're interested in. For example, in this question, I'm not going to solve it in the classical way. It will take forever and ever. Let's see what the problem is asking. Now, in the non-classical way that I'm describing here, the quick and dirty way, one always has to pay attention not only to the question, how the question is phrased, but equally important is how are the answer choices presented to me. That plays a major role in it. For example, here the answer choices are, where did it go? There we go. A says 0.00032, B says 0.0016, C says 0.00625, D is 0.008, and finally E is 0.03125. They are all there for a reason. There are kind of mistakes that you are expected to make, and if you end up making one of those predictable mistakes, you'll end up picking one of these other 4 answer choices. There are 5 answer choices obviously here. There are 5 answer choices there obviously. One is the right answer. The question always is, where do the other 4 answer choices come from? They don't just fall from the sky. They are the 4 most popular mistakes people are expected to make. And if you solve the problem in the classical way, you're very likely to end up making one of those 4 most popular mistakes. So if you do it in a non-classical way, in other words, if you behave in a way that cannot be predicted ahead of time, then they cannot trap you. It's a chess game. It's a game of chess. It's like any other game. If you want to beat your opponent, you have to be able to tell ahead of time how you expect your opponent to behave. For GMAT, the people who give you the exam, let me put it down here someplace. The people who give you the exam, the GMAT exam, that entity is known as GMAT, Graduate Management Admission Council. I know it's a mouthful, but you will find it at the very bottom of this book. Pick up this book on the cover at the very bottom. In a very fine print, it will tell you, from the Graduate Management Admission Council. These folks who give you the exam, they expect you to behave in a certain way. They expect you to behave in a traditional way, in a classical way. And if you keep behaving in a classical way, they will trap you. They are, in order for them to in order for them to trap you, they have to know ahead of time how you're going to behave. And that's the classical way. Enough of this talk here. Let me solve this problem here and see where we're going with it. For example, here Now there are some basic, having said all this thing, of course there are some basic things that you have to know. For example, here I have to know that 1/5 equals 0.2. I have to know that. Otherwise I will not go anywhere. So, how much does this equal? Do you know? 2 raised to 5, 2 raised to the 5th power. How much does that equal to? Let's find that out. Let's find that out. 2 raised to 5th power means I take 2 and multiply by itself 5 times. Multiply by itself 5 times. So which is what I did here. I multiplied 2 by itself 5 times. Let's find out. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. 8 times 2 is 16. 16 times 2 is 32. I don't know about you, but I see only one answer choice here. How many answer choices do you see there with 32 in it? Right there, that's it. That's it, you're done. The rest is mumbo jumbo. The rest is mumbo jumbo. You don't have to, because there is only one answer choice with 32 in it, I'm not going to worry about my decimal points. If there were more than one, I would figure out which one it is. But that's the only one there. I'm done. That's it. I move on with my life. Now, if you insist on solving it in the classical way, if you're hell-bent on it, this is how it goes. What it is it's the 5th power, which means you need 5 decimal places. 0.2, let me start again here. 0.2 times 0.2. 2 times 2 is 4, and this is decimal and this is decimal. So it's 4, and you need 2 decimal places. It becomes like that. If I go one more, now there are 2. 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. But then there are 3 decimal places, so I need 1, 2, and 3. And similarly, if I go one more, let me line them up so you can see. So 0.2 times 0.2 times 0.2 times 0.2. Of course, this is 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 is 32. And there are 5 decimal places. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 5. There are 5 decimal places. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right there. That's your answer. But the point I'm trying to make here is that this work was unnecessary. I was done at that point. This is 32. This equals 32. There is only one answer choice with 32 in it. That has to be the answer. The rest doesn't matter. That's what it is. And that's what it is. That's what you have to learn how to take the exam. Because if you sit there and insist on solving, I need both of my hands to finish my sentence. If you insist there and if you sit there and insist on solving every single problem, you will never get to anywhere because you don't have enough time. They give you 2 minutes per question, and you don't want to use up all of those 2 minutes on every single question because you want to keep on moving. The harder questions will take you longer times. You don't want to end up taking 2 minutes, 3 minutes on easy questions. In the beginning, they give you easy questions. You want to go through them as a little time so that you have more time left over for the hard questions. The more hard questions you answer, the higher the score. It's an interactive exam. It's not a paper and pencil exam. In the beginning, they give you a few easy ones. If you get those right, they give you medium questions. If you get those right, you move on to the hard questions. And then they keep giving you hard questions. You stay at a certain level. The computer figures out as to where you stay. And you want to get to those medium and hard questions as soon as possible. So you don't want to use up too much time. Here, the quickest way to solve is as I already described. 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 is 32. That's the answer, 32. Alright? Thank you.